Welcome back to Universally Speaking, ladies and gentlemen. As always, we're going to have a look at the week that was in Universe mode. Let's get right into the action, as there was plenty going on. On Monday Night Raw, we saw absolute chaos ensue when Maria Kanellis returned to hand a huge assist to her husband and cause one of the biggest upsets in recent WWE history. As the match between Andrade Cien Almas and Mike Kanellis was heating up, through the crowd would come Mike Kanellis' wife, Maria. She would of course catch the eye of the business associate of Almas, Zelina Vega, who immediately caused a stir with Maria at ringside. As the argument got more heated, the referee was distracted and Kanellis would then strike, DDTing Almas on a steel chair and stealing the win. The win is not only a huge upset in the pecking order on Raw, but it's the first time the US champion has been pinned in many, many months. This is a huge story, as now it appears that this victory, albeit a tainted one, could indeed slot Mike Kanellis into a championship match in the future. Is it a one-off appearance from Maria, or is her help going to take Mike Kanellis to his first taste of gold in WWE? We are going to have to wait and see. That wasn't the only boil over of the night though. We saw another huge upset in the tag team division as well. Heavy Machinery haven't exactly been on the radar when it comes to the tag team championships, but with the arrival of NXT and subsequent three-way split of tag teams in the WWE, the opportunity arose for Heavy Machinery to get a shot at the tag team titles. But they had to go through the bruising Rowan and Harper to do it. A new look Harper and Rowan came sauntering to the ring, and in the early stages of the match, it certainly appeared to just be elementary. But Otis pulled the ultimate ace from his sleeve when he leapt from the top rope, landing on Luke Harper and pinning the former tag team champion clean in the middle of the ring, which now sets up a showdown in 2 weeks' time versus the AOP for the Tag Team Championships. Can Heavy Machinery continue the momentum, or will it be a short-lived fairy tale for these men? And will they hit a straight-up roadblock in the form of the AOP? We don't have to wait all that long to find out. On SmackDown, we saw Cesaro throw his hat firmly in the ring for a championship match. As we know, Team SmackDown was victorious at Survivor Series, and the 4 members of that winning team were due to have a fatal 4-way match, which the winner would be able to choose when they challenge for the championship between now and the Royal Rumble. But instead, it was Brock Lesnar who broke that match apart, destroyed all members except for Cesaro himself. And as he said, he was the last man standing at Survivor Series and also last week, so he believes that if the Fatal 4-Way match isn't going to go ahead before Vengeance, then he wants to be the man to fight for the championship at that pay-per-view. He was cut off, however, by Drew Gulak, who claims he is the rightful person to face Bryan because he is the most consistent athlete on the blue brand. The tension was broken, and then Gulak got his chance to shine against the champion Bryan, who'd requested a match earlier in the night, but only just fell short. But Gulak, in my opinion, is still in the hunt after a very, very strong showing and subsequent handshake from the champion. Who do you think should face Bryan for the title should the Fatal 4-Way match not happen before Vengeance? Let me know in the comments section below. Also on SmackDown, we saw the show go off the air very, very curiously. During the Ruby Riott and Shayna Baszler main event, we witnessed something that struck fear into the hearts of the entire WWE universe. The lights went out, we heard a crash, and then Shayna Baszler was nowhere to be found. However, Ruby Riott was left standing, and behind her, steel stairs. Those of you who will cast your minds back to the very first Raw after WrestleMania will remember a certain incident involving Ruby Riott and the Riott Squad. This very deliberate and methodical message could only have been sent by one woman. But this commentator refuses to name her, as that might mean she shows up. But I get the feeling she's going to be showing up regardless anyway. She has shown no boundaries either, showing up on NXT as well. And I'm thinking the Riott Squad needs to be on high alert wherever they go, or this could get very, very ugly. And speaking of NXT, we saw the NXT Championship Tournament get underway with some of the best in-ring action of the week. First up was Humberto Carrillo versus Shane Thorne in a match for the ages, with both men going back and forth in a tense and physical battle. But it was Carrillo who would get the hard-fought win and advance in this prestigious tournament. And in the main event of that show, we saw a clearly injured and struggling Chad Gable get systematically picked apart by a fierce and determined Buddy Murphy. Murphy went right after the shoulder all match, and when it looked like Gable might rally and just might snatch a win, Murphy showed tremendous athleticism and managed to lock in an armbar for that victory. So now we know who the first semi-final is, and it'll be Humberto Carrillo versus Buddy Murphy in 2 weeks' time on NXT to determine who goes to TakeOver to challenge for the vacant NXT title. Finally, we have our socially speaking big moment of the week, which took place on this very show on the Black and Gold brand on NXT. It, of course, was the arrival of Alistair Black. The lights are back on. Not again. Chad Gable is scouring the ring with that. Uh-oh. The lights are out again. Oh my God! You've got to be kidding me! Alistair Black! Black Mass! Well, I think we know who Kurt Angle has signed! NXT is about to fade to black! A huge reaction for Black arriving on NXT, and he's targeted ESM member Chad Gable. And things just seem to be going from bad to worse for Gable and ESM, who was seemingly unable to gather any momentum at this stage of the game. To be part of Socially Speaking, as always, just be yourself and make sure you are commenting in the live chat and also in the comments section of every episode for your chance to be featured. Next week, we have a stacked lineup on each brand with some incredible matches, and we're also going to hear from some of the biggest stars in the company when on Raw, Nia Jax takes on Bianca Belair in a match that may secure Belair a shot at Rhea Ripley at Vengeance for that Women's Championship. Also, in the main event, Cedric Alexander, the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, will be going one-on-one with Drew McIntyre. But will Tommaso Ciampa or AJ Styles intervene in this one? There's only one way to find out. Also, on the blue brand, Keith Lee makes his SmackDown in-ring debut when he takes on the Viper Randy Orton in a mouth-watering clash. We also hear from Seth Rollins as he responds to Finn Balor after Balor had some choice words for him on the last episode. And also, Walter breaks his silence for the first time since being taken out by Bobby Lashley, Walter is going to shed some light on the title situation as it pertains to the Intercontinental Championship. Then, on NXT, 3 enormous matches as Sasha Banks is going to go one-on-one with Mia Yim after their personal rivalry has escalated. Also, the NXT Championship tournament continues as Baron Corbin tries to best Mark Andrews. And also, in the main event, it'll be Sami Zayn versus Robert Roode. Who will go to the semi-finals? We will find out this week on NXT. It has never been more important to have notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going live on YouTube for every single episode of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-views, takeovers. It's all live on the channel. Plus, there is a ton of great ways you can support the channel and receive many awesome benefits, including signing up as a mid-carder or above on Patreon to get early access to every single video. You can also join the Murphs Elite right here on YouTube by clicking the join button down below to get access to emotes, special sub badges, and there is 2 tiers. You can join up as a rookie just for the emotes only to use in the live chat, or you can join up as an established star to get emotes, sub badges, and access to our private Discord server. Plus, we have the Teespring store open for business at all hours. If you want to pick up a cool Murphs YT13 t-shirt or hoodie, or of course, the ESM endorsed Elite t-shirts, all available right now. As always, ladies and gentlemen, for Murphs YT13, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.